How's everyone doing today? Okay, awesome. My name is David Caesar, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I do, the work I do, and then after that talk about some trends that I see happening in agriculture, which I think are going to affect the food industry. Okay, so first of all, like I said, my name is David Caesar, and I've been working in agriculture for about 25 years. I operate a farm called Green Skies Vertical Farm. It's a certified organic farm in West Oakland, so it's about 6 miles directly east of here. And we grow certified organic herbs, microgreens, and salad greens. We sell throughout the Bay Area, and we've been in operation for about 5 years. Now, our business model is built on transforming vacant lots into farms. So as you know, in cities all throughout the US and the world, there's vacant lots that are eyesores on our community. And so we thought, well, what would be better than to take something that's seen as a negative for the community and turn it into something that's positive, right? So this was our lot in West Oakland before we started working on it. And this is how it looks now. And so we provide value not only in several ways to the community. So first of all, we take something that was negative and turn it into a positive. We produce food on the spaces. We provide some jobs, some part-time jobs. And we also create a space that neighborhood kids can come and visit. Okay, so we're pretty happy with what we're doing. We feel proud of what we're doing, and hopefully it's something we can repeat in more places. Now about our cultivation methods, we use straight lines just like the big farms. So here you see 3 different crops growing. On the left you see cucumbers, baby cucumbers. In the center you see microgreens, and on the right is wheatgrass. And all this stuff we grow are growing in rain gutters. And these rain gutters we use because they're easy to cultivate. It's a modular system. And also it's something that people who come visit the farm can look at and say, hey, I can do this at my home. But different than the large farms, which also use straight lines, we are much smaller than them. So the average size farm in the US is about 435 acres. Our farm is about a 1/12 of an acre. So we are about 1/6000th the size of farms, of the average farm in the US. Because of that, we have to use very intensive, high productivity production methods. So these are chives growing in an outdoor hydroponic flood and drain system. The previous slide you saw soil-based growing. But we use a mix of soil and hydroponic systems. Anyhow, so our farm has an output of about $5 to $6 per square foot per year in revenue, sales revenue from crops. If you compare that to a big farm, so a farm that grows corn or soybeans, they get about 10 cents per square foot per year. So we have a very different business model, a very different approach to how farming works. And we sell our crops all throughout the Bay Area, thanks to the internet and to Good Eggs. If you guys are familiar with Good Eggs, I'm not sure if they're here today, but they are sort of like an online-based food distributor. And we sell the majority of our product through them. And they're amazing for small businesses like mine. They allow us to grow and cultivate, a lot of unique herbs. We grow things like shiso, lemon balm, peppermint, Laotian mint, Korean mint, all these herbs that you don't usually find in stores, but they allow us to grow these things and share them with the public. So we appreciate their work. So in addition to being a farmer, I also work as an agricultural consultant. And I work with a company called Agritecture Consulting that's based in New York. And we do all sorts of projects, from small outdoor projects to large indoor projects. And what you see here is a vertical farm. So it's an indoor farming system where leafy greens, usually leafy greens, are grown, and they're grown using hydroponic methods and with artificial light. So now I'm going to talk about some of the trends that I see in agriculture, which I think are going to be affecting the food system. So trend number one, as you guys know, or probably know, California produces a huge quantity of numerous crops. So like it says here, 99% of the walnuts, 99% of the artichokes, 95% of the celery. I think over the next 5, 10, 15 years, this production has become much more decentralized. So because of things like vertical farming, you're going to be seeing vertical farms popping up all over the US, okay? And they're going to be producing things like celery, like lettuce, herbs, all that sort of stuff in cities all around, okay? So it's going to be less in California, it's going to be more distributed, okay? Second, we're going to have more focus on indoor agriculture. Indoor agriculture has numerous benefits for society and for the environment, but it needs to be done right. So let's say you have an outdoor lettuce production system, which is 100 acres. You can convert that into an indoor production facility of about 1 acre and get the same amount of production and restore that land, those 100 acres, to the ecosystem that they were previously, okay? And so even though indoor farming, as you can see here, it's energy intensive. It uses lights, it has cooling systems. The net carbon gain, if you can restore the land that was used for previous production, you have a net carbon gain, and that can be a valuable fight towards global warming, or against global warming. Okay, another trend which is going to happen, or in my opinion, is even though indoor farming is focused on hydroponics, which is a soilless type of agriculture, we're going to be bringing a lot of things from the soil indoors, because as you know, plants evolved with soil and microorganisms over millions of years. When we take those plants indoors and give them the nutrients they need, they grow. But there's a lot of things that are happening in the soil which we don't know about, which are missing. So as we learn more about and understand better the relationships between plants, soil, and microorganisms, we'll bring more of that knowledge indoors. Another trend that I think will be big are in-store grow kiosks. So this is a cool business out of New York. They're called Smallhold. And what they do is they're a specialty mushroom producer. And they set up these kiosks in restaurants and stores. And they have a central production facility where they grow the mushrooms and they spawn them. And then before they're ready to fruit, they'll take these bags of spawn and put them in this grow chamber. And so in the restaurants or in the store, you'll have these beautiful fruiting mushrooms, which you can get the freshest mushrooms and amazing quality of mushrooms that you couldn't get in other places. We'll also see that same type of trend in supermarkets. So this is a in-store grow kiosk in Germany. And so this is growing lettuce and salad greens. So what will happen in stores is they'll be growing their own vegetables. This will happen in the stores, maybe on the rooftops, in basements, wherever. And then as the shelves empty, you'll have produce right there that can be put right onto the shelves. Another trend is how indoor agriculture is going to come into your home. So your next appliance, you think it might be a coffee maker, a new coffee maker, or espresso machine, or something like that. It might be something like this called the Plant Cube. This is an indoor, sort of like an indoor farming unit, and it could go right next to your dishwasher or your oven. This is made by a company called Agrolution. It's out of Germany. I don't think they're not for sale right yet, but this is, what they are sort of like smart farming devices. So you'll be able to, say you want to grow lettuce, you'll be able to seed your lettuce and press a few buttons, And this machine will provide the optimal conditions for the lettuce to grow. It'll, the right lighting, the right moisture, the right humidity, the right temperature, everything. And so these will be in your kitchen, in restaurants, and chefs will be able to, grow whatever microgreens they need, whatever greens they need, and have them ready, super fresh for their customers. The last thing I wanted to talk about is some really cool stuff that's going on with lettuce and with other crops. But this is lettuce, which is growing under different colored LED lights. So you see at the top, on the right, you see there's a blue light. In the middle is either a white or a full spectrum light, and at the bottom is a red light. And so fascinating, you look at these three lettuce, and you think those are three different types of lettuce. But actually, they are the exact same type of lettuce. What's happened is they've been grown under different colors of lights. So very soon, and there's research going on for this, all over the world, what we'll be able to do is actually tune flavors in our crops. So for example, what you see here is you see a different colored lettuce. But what's actually happening in the plant is based on the type of light the plant receives, they're giving a different physiological response. And what that means is the plant actually has, is different colors because there's different amounts of chemicals, there's different amounts of antioxidants in those crops. So what the really exciting thing is, we'll be able to kind of tune our crops. So let's say you have a chef that wants to make a salad one day, which has, the lettuce, it maybe has some stronger flavored vegetables in it. Says, I want a more neutral tasting lettuce. So you'll be able to kind of tune your lettuce to have a more neutral taste. Maybe the next day he wants to, have a lettuce that's a little more bitter. He'll be able to do that. He or she will be able to do that in the future. Additionally, these color changes reflect, as I said, they reflect different levels of vitamins and antioxidants. So what we'll be able to do is produce food for targeted areas. So if we know there's populations that are suffering from a certain vitamin deficiency or some nutritional deficiency, we'll be able to kind of tune crops or target crops to provide the vitamins that those populations need. So that's the end of my presentation. I'd love to talk to folks afterwards. Here's my contact information, and looking forward to answering your questions later on. Thank you.